Hi, Kathleen Solom from the Athletic Club with my daughter Grace. We all love to go to the club, but sometimes working out at home is a nice option, and one of my favorite home exercises uses a wall for bridges. If I had to go to a desert island and could only take one exercise with me, it would be all the variations of bridges that are out here, and feet up on the wall is, as I said, one of my favorites. So I'm going to have Grace turn around here. She's going to put her sitting bones or pelvis about 6 to 8 inches off the wall. So the feet are relatively high, but she's not right on the wall. Arms are to the side. As always, we want to check in with the breath before we move just to see how the weather is in there. So a couple deep breaths. I'm going to invite Grace to feel really heavy in the back of her rib cage. Feel really heavy on her shoulders and her shoulder blades. And feel really heavy on the back of her pelvis. We're going to activate the breath first. So big inhale through the nose, trying to aim the breath to the back ribs. And as you exhale, just feel the belly sink and the abdominal wall draw in. As you exhale, you want to feel your navel draw in, and then I like to imagine that there's a secondary navel that lives about 3 inches below your real navel, and you draw both navels in, creating a little abdominal fist, a little abdominal hug, and a little narrowing at the waist that we kind of squeeze, give a little oomph to at the bottom of the exhalation. We want to make sure that's happening so that as we bridge, we're not just throwing ourselves off the floor, but we're using our abdominal wall to help move the pelvis. So we're going to start with a little pelvic rocking, a little movement of the abdominals now. So on your exhalation, Grace, I want you to imagine you're drawing a marble or a grape into that secondary navel, and then you're going to roll the pelvis, flatten the back, and just feel like you're drawing that marble into your real navel and then roll back down. Give me a couple of those. So a couple things we're going to check for here. First of all, you're going to see how the legs kind of want to go wide. We're going to keep the inner thighs cutting to the wall and keep weight loaded on the inner aspect of the footprint. And then as she lifts her pelvis up, it's a little easier to keep these back ribs broad and heavy on the floor. And as she rolls back to neutral, getting her pelvis heavy back on the floor and putting the curve back in the lumbar spine, it's really easy for those low ribs to want to come up. So we get to practice as we go down. So let's do one more here. Exhale, really feel the abdominal wall. Great. So she gets these ribs down. She can practice keeping those ribs kind of heavy onto the floor as she rolls back, sitting bones and tailbone shooting towards the baseboard. Good. On your next one, we're going to take the abdominal work. We're going to peel up one vertebra at a time up to the shoulder stand. Good. Nice peeling off the floor as if it were sticky. Good. Don't roll up onto your neck. Be heavy on your shoulder blades and then roll back down. Really use the abdominal wall and make sure the breath stays in the exercise. All the way to neutral, which means the tailbone and sitting bones don't aim to the heels, they aim to the baseboard. Ribs are heavy. Inhale, exhale, peel up one vertebra at a time. It's as if one lifts up and reaches to follow the tail, and the vertebra above it just stays really heavy. Nice, stay there. Give me a couple breath cycles right here if you would, Grace. Now, one of the things I like about bridging with feet on the wall is we really get to work on loosening up the thoracic spine, which gets a little stuck on most of us. So as Gracie peels down this time, I want her to slow down what's going on in her hips. Try to keep the hips lifted. And we're really going to try to slide the sternum away from the face. So I'm going to just guide her here a little bit. The hips keep coming down, slow down the hips. See about coming right down, one vertebra at a time. She can get those ribs heavy, keep breathing. And just get some mobilization in that rib cage. Good, watch those knees. They're gonna wanna go out on the way up. They're gonna wanna come in on the way down maybe. Good, nice. Nice pressure in shoulder blades and hands. Inhale. And exhale one more time, scooping the abdominals. You don't have the problem with the hamstrings when the feet are on the wall as much. And a lot of people, when your hamstrings fire too much in bridge, it's because there's not enough abdominal movement or that inner thigh action that we're looking for. So if you find your hamstrings cramp up, try to add those two elements to your bridges. So we can also play with movement at the top of the bridge. Are you okay there? Good. Not quite as challenging as it would be if her feet were on the floor or on arc or any other level, but kind of fun to add some stability challenge here as well. So let's go ahead and peel this heel off and press the forefoot strong. It's this hip that's going to be working, especially this inner thigh. And let's just tap the wall 4 times. 4, and 3. Can you lift this hip a little higher? And 2, and 1. Articulate toe ball heel. Really feel your foot. Yep, watch those feet. Peel off the wall. And again, 4. And so this hip is lifting up higher if you can. She's doing a really great job keeping the left side of her waist as long as the right side. And then articulate through the foot. And then enjoy that peel down. Really try to move in the rib cage. Slow down the hips. Really get the sternum down, the ribs heavy. And then roll back to your neutral. Another option. And you can play with your feet height on this if you like. Let's play with the feet maybe just a little lower on this one. Deep inhale. Exhale, draw in the imaginary navel, roll the marble to the real navel, peel yourself off the ground, lengthen through the tailbone. Good. And then you can play with different heights. If she wants, she can come as high or as low as she wants with her hips, as long as we don't get into the neck. And you also don't want to feel like you're on the spine, but you want to feel like you're really broad on the back of the shoulder blades. And let's go ahead and peel that foot off again, and then straight leg up, and then tiny tic-tacs. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Articulate. Good. Other side. Keep that breathing going. And tick-tock. 4, and 3, and 2. A lot of good oblique work here. And articulate through. Great job. Roll on down. And I've got one more for you. Inhaling. Let me ask you, did you have a preference to your feet higher or lower?
I liked this lower one.
Okay, that's the one we'll do again. Inhale, exhale, breath and abdominal wall kick in first. Peel off the floor, 1 vertebra at a time. Nice and long, creating length. Inner thighs cut, don't let the knees fall out. And this time, an homage to Julian Littleford, one of my favorite yoga instructors. Arms are gonna go overhead. And she's gonna get this nice reach through her arms. And she's going to create a counter action to peeling yourself back down. Let's get the hips high on this one. There you go. Nice, good. Now, the idea here is that you're laying down if you've ever put wallpaper down or contact paper in a cupboard and you don't want any bubbles on it. So she starts to lay herself down. She's going to really think of her back being like that wallpaper or contact paper. Slow down the hips. Really try to get these ribs and that thoracic spine to go down. And her arms just give her a little more length as she rolls all the way towards her neutral. Let the tail come all the way. Finish it out. And you can do a nice big arch there if you like. And then sink and release. Thank you.